Welcome to GreenBiz Studio. I'm Isaac Niffing, and I'm excited to be speaking with Scott Tew, Vice President of Sustainability and ESG at Trane Technologies. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Isaac. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So, Trane Technologies is uniquely positioned to lead a movement to empower its customers to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. What are the most impactful goals and initiatives that Trane Technologies is working on to help their clients reach net zero carbon?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Isaac. I think even before I talk about the initiatives we're working on and some of our commitments, I'd like to just first say that I think our company, along with a lot of others, first and foremost, we really are recognizing that there's the big societal need. And from our company's perspective, it's sort of twofold. One is the fact that, Trane Technologies is a company known for its cooling systems in particular, and we cool a lot of the world's buildings, whether it's your office or your home, and that requires a lot of electricity, a lot of energy. And as the population of the world increases, as cities develop and get bigger and more complicated, as the climate grows warmer, there's a need for comfort systems. There's a need for additional cooling, and we see some studies out there that says that by 2030, that demand for cooling could go up by 40%. On the flip side of that societal need, though, is this dual need for us to reduce emissions from greenhouse gases. And since our systems use so much electricity, we also use refrigerants in those systems, which are also greenhouse gases. That's part of the solution set. And so what's in front of us is not only trying to meet the need of the world for cooling demand, but also how do we do that at the same time that we're all trying to work towards the Paris Accords goal of reducing emissions by 50% by 2030. I mean, can those things actually happen? So our company's really, we've stepped back and we've thought about our business, our solutions, and this whole dual challenge of meeting the demands of the market at the same time reducing emissions from our products and for our customers. And so that's the dual challenge. And for us, it's that dual challenge that has led to some really significant commitments that we've made. And also, to your point, it's also led to some fantastic initiatives and innovation inside the company.
Scott, can you tell me a bit about Trane Technologies' Gigaton Challenge?
Yeah, the Gigaton Challenge is sort of the core of our climate commitment. It's about our commitment to reduce our customers' carbon footprint by 1 billion metric tons. It is the single largest climate impact commitment of any company based on product emissions that has been put through the rigors of the Science Based Targets Initiative's validation process. So it's a huge commitment. We understand the magnitude of the commitment. It's one of those eye-popping commitments, but what it really means is that we're committing to become a company that's more innovative with every passing day towards solutions for customers, especially those solutions that go into buildings that are attached to next generation refrigerants, to high efficiency solutions, and also to ensuring that the buildings are more than just a standalone building. We're also committing to attaching it to all the controls, to the building management systems that are required to offer a building owner a next generation of efficiency and emissions reduction that may or may not have been possible in years past.
Wonderful. So what advice would you give other organizations seeking to empower their customers to reduce their carbon footprint?
Yeah, in terms of advice for other companies, here's what we've learned. There's been some big learnings. We've been at this journey for well over a decade, setting science-based targets around climate impact, reducing our emissions internally in our operations, and now with what is the largest science-based climate commitment for product emissions with our Gigaton Challenge. And we've learned that there is power in setting bold commitments. The power for us has come from not just signaling to the marketplace, to our customers, that we're serious about next generation solutions, but we also are signaling to our employees that our commitment is more than just words, because they're watching, and they're watching us develop new products, next generation products that are better than the products that they are replacing. We're doing it in a way that's very inclusive. It's an all hands on deck moment, and we mean that. We have gone out of our way inside the company to engage not just the innovation and engineering teams, but it's all employees' voices are really important. And so the level of engagement that comes from these bold commitments really can just set fire to the company's engagement with employees, innovation in the marketplace. You're sort of inviting external groups outside the company to call you with their ideas, and you have to be ready and open to hearing what their solutions might be. So for us, that's number one, is that setting a bold commitment is really, really important. And then number two, we really feel it's important to be as transparent as possible about the things that are working and maybe the things that are not working so well for you, because this is how we all learn together. We live in a very transparent, fast-paced society. Social media has taught us, if nothing else, it's taught us that there's this eagerness for everyone to know more about something. And I think the areas that companies are working in to bring these solutions to market's no different. And people and organizations are very interested in what you're doing and how you're doing it. And transparency around your progress, really, really important. And we believe one of the best ways to be transparent is to provide your plans to an outside group and invite them to look through your data, to look at the plans, or for them to validate that you are on track to make a difference. And we've done that through the Science Based Targets Initiative. We believe having a third party like that validate our plan gives us a certain level of comfort and credibility, both internally, knowing that we're on track, but also externally. And we call on other companies to do the similar things, to make your plans known, tell us about your progress, and we believe good things can come from both of those big steps.
Scott, what gets you excited about arriving to work each day at Trane Technologies?
Well, arriving at work is has a different meaning for all of us these days. Since the pandemic, we're all working in different ways from different places. But regardless of where we are, I mean, for me personally, no matter where I'm working, it's the work itself, and really, it's about these opportunities. I see so many opportunities for my company and for all companies to do better. And there are friends of mine, and Andrew Winston has a book out called Net Positive, where there's a challenge to companies not to think about being just incrementally better, but to really think about how the company as a whole can be a net positive in society. That's a fantastic challenge. And for someone like me, that's what gets me going every day. This thought of what's my role in helping the company and our teams think differently, act differently, or behave differently in the marketplace, and maybe be open to outside views that could change our trajectory. And for me, there are opportunities on every corner. I'll give you one example, Isaac. One of the things the company does, as I mentioned, our company, we're in the heating and cooling business for buildings. So no matter where you are, you're sitting in a building right now, that there's comfort provided by companies like Trane Technologies. And you may not know this, but 90% of the world's energy in buildings goes towards thermal heat, or heating things inside the building. And most of that, 90%, is driven by fossil fuel use still. So we're still using fossil fuels to heat buildings, but we don't have to anymore. And so taking that one example, think of the opportunities for us to take fossil fuel heating out of buildings, to electrify the heatings on a clean, green grid. And doing that is like one of the huge opportunities and steps for decarbonizing the built environment. We don't have to wait. There's a lot of myths about the systems that can replace fossil fuel heating, and they are truly myths, because the technologies, the solutions, it all exists today, and it's being applied in buildings globally. And so that one example is something that would motivate me to get up and go to work, if nothing else, to help others connect the dots between all these possibilities.
We appreciate your leadership and look forward to seeing Trane Technologies embarking in the Gigaton Challenge and succeeding. You just heard from Scott Tew, Vice President of Sustainability and ESG at Trane Technologies.
Thanks, Isaac.